When it comes to roguelike games, I generally enjoy them. They tend to be really hard and allow for you to grow in the progression systems within the game and be able to improve your skill in learning the gameplay. Some versions of these games have you losing everything when you die in a run, and while that can be annoying, it does allow for the opportunity for you to be able to really dig into the gameplay systems and improve your skill. I tend to prefer roguelites that allow you to continually bring back something with you when you die, so that way you always feel like you're coming back with something. I do feel spoiled when it comes to these types of games ever since I played Rogue Legacy. The game fully captured my attention even though it's extremely hard. It provided a great grind where I could keep all the gold that I found on a run and I could slowly put that gold into growing my skill trees. With the changing environments and the randomness, I never got bored with it and got several great hours out of that awesome title. Every year we see a new roguelite try to take a stab at the genre, and earlier this year we got a really unique one with the Children of Morta. This game is easily one of the best titles this year as it combines the addictive nature of a rogue along with the compelling story that you would want from a story-driven game. You take control of different family members, and each time you die on your run, you then get to experience many of the short story sequences that help to flesh out the family. Along with this, the player would continually be introduced to new members of the family and they would serve as new playable characters, each one of them having their own ins and outs. With games like this, I'm always open to try new ones, and a new one caught my eye. Sparklite is a new indie roguelite that plans to provide its own spin on the genre. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my review for Sparklite. Sparklite is a new roguelike game that has simplistic combat and solid progression. Sparklite definitely falls in line with what I prefer in roguelike games. I prefer the ones that let you be able to take something back with you. This way you always feel like you're progressing within the game even if it's with a small amount. With each run in Sparklite, you will earn Sparklite from different defeated enemies along with exploring. There are many uses for this currency and you will keep all of it when you die. You only lose the current extra weapons and items when you die. There is a town that you have access to that acts like an upgradable hub, and it gives you many options to be able to work towards many different things. The main upgrade system for your character is based on a grid. You have a fixed amount of space that can be upgraded, and each perk provides you with something unique. This is where you can slot different buffs like more health, better energy regeneration, and damage bonuses. You can buy these along with being able to find them within levels. Some will even help you out in your exploration, providing you with spots on the map to go visit or giving you entire map outlines to be able to help you with your next approach. These upgrades can be combined with similar ones to be able to make them even stronger. Combining also comes in handy because you're going to be able to free up more space to be able to get different upgrades slotted. It is a simple system that works very well. It will have you deciding which upgrades to slot to figure out what to cater for your playstyle. Your Sparklite can be used to upgrade other areas of the town. One lets you create benches so that you can use your blueprints that you have earned through exploring to create new gadgets. Another area will let you be able to have extra items to start out with you each time you start a run. There's plenty to upgrade and earn as you're playing. Once you start a run, you're going to quickly find yourself in frequent combat encounters. The combat is pretty simplistic. You have a main quick attack and a charge attack. You can dodge around the battlefield to avoid enemy attacks as well. As you explore, you will find other items that will help you out. Some allow you to be able to throw a bunch of bombs around and hit many enemies at once, and others will help you out less in combat and more in exploration. The combat system is simple yet fun. It's really easy to get a handle on, but don't expect any in-depth combat system here. The extra items do help to bring some extra variety to the game. As I said before, you will find these dungeons within the game and they will provide you with different gadgets. These gadgets can be used to help you out with your exploration or in some cases in combat. The first few upgrades you get are a bow, a remote controlled explosive, and a shrink ray. These will help you get into areas that you couldn't get into before until you found these upgrades. Once you're on a run, there's a lot to see and do. The setup is similar to a traditional Zelda game. There are plenty of enemies to defeat, along with chests to open to be able to find rewarding items. There's also hidden small dungeons that you will find that will provide you with extra Sparklite. There are mines that you can go into and then face off against a few floors of enemies or traps, and then you're rewarded with a nice chunk of Sparklite at the end. On each run, the order of the maps do change a little bit, which is why you're going to want to seek out Marco and Polo. If you find both of them within an area, they will give you the map to be able to help outline the area. And this is really useful because the map essentially will change, the order of the rooms will change as you start a new run. On occasion, you will also find this pirate guy that gives you an opportunity to earn more Sparklite, and it plays out kind of like a fun game show. After you defeat the first boss, you will earn your robot friend back, and you can control the robot that will allow you to be able to pull stuff up from the ground. Expect a decent fight when you go up against a boss encounter. I generally enjoyed the boss fights, and they tend to have a pattern to them that you need to learn to overcome them. I was generally enjoying my time with Sparklite. I found that it wasn't doing anything new for the genre, but it was doing a pretty good job at making a fun game. I really like that there was plenty of things to earn and upgrade to really keep me interested within the game. While the combat is simplistic, the upgrades and the progression is really where it gets addictive. While I did enjoy my time with the game, I did have a few flaws with it. One thing I want to make note of is that this game can feel pretty grindy at times. The game tries to break up the tedious nature by changing the order of the rooms because you need to go back to the same areas several times. But after going through the same areas several times, it starts to feel a bit old. I do think more variety for the different rooms would have helped to be able to prevent this game from feeling tedious at times. I am sort of in the middle on this, because I can understand that this game starts to feel samey as you play it more, but the progression is still really good. At the same time, it can feel really tedious once you go beyond the first area, as you will always need to go through the first area to go anywhere else. I'd almost recommend you play this game in short bursts rather than in long play sessions. Besides that it started to feel tedious to me, I did enjoy this game. There's a lot of charm to the visuals and the soundtrack is great. It has a nice blend of tracks that are both upbeat along with ones that are a bit more emotional. Here are a few tracks from the game. Sparklite is a pretty fun game. It has a good amount of things that it does right. The simplistic combat means that it's really easy to jump into. I very much loved how you kept all of your Sparklite when you die. This way you don't feel like any of your time was wasted if you die in a run. I really enjoyed exploring the different areas of the game, especially when I could apply my different gadgets to different situations. I like how I had a town to go back to, and I was working to upgrade it through the earnings that I got within the game. The game has a lot of charm and a memorable soundtrack. My only issue comes from how the game can be a bit grindy and tedious with how you will need to see many of the same areas continuously throughout the game. This flaw means that I think some people will probably be bothered by this more than others. If you enjoy roguelike games, then I would recommend you check this one out.